have a question I wanted to ask for today's show. Because I talked about it on TikTok a little bit and got a lot of pushback, unsurprisingly, from Texas fans. Should Penn State and Texas be in the top 10 going into this week? That's all I'm asking. Because my question is rooted in the fact that out of all the top 25 teams, Penn State and Texas, week 6 of the college football season, October 1st, 2025, they're the only ones without a Power 4 win. Now, before you start slamming that keyboard and looking at me as a guy that's just hating on Texas, that's just hating on Penn State, they've only played, one Power 4 program up to this point. You play who's in front of you, all that jazz. All I'm saying is, at this point, what is the limitation of going this far into the season? If it was week 2, week 3, only 3 games played, I'd give you grace. But we complain all the time about preseason rankings, a merit-based ranking. What's your resume? At what point do we just say, you got to earn that top 10 ranking? Because it's also baked into the fact that they haven't looked great against the lower level opponents. I mean, I would have dropped after the UTEP game much more farther. I mean, we're talking about a Texas program that defensively looks great, offensively has looked putrid. They've looked stagnant. Statistically, they've had good moments, but if you watch those games, they don't look pretty at all. They're one of the worst third down teams in the country, and they're going to have a great opportunity against Florida this week. Penn State, one of the worst offensive teams with a ton of returning production. And here's the thing, because I've seen it on Twitter. Texas fans will say, well, we would beat Indiana by 3 touchdowns. Based on what? Well, last year, no. Don't tell me anything about last year. What have you done this year to justify that you were a top 10 team in the country at week 6 of the college football season? Because here's my perspective on it. Drop them out of the top 10. If they go dominate Florida on the road, put them right back in the top 10. Because at least that's a Power 4 win on the road against a very talented program. Sure, they're 1-3, and at that point they would be 1-4. But it's an SEC team on the road. That's something. UTEP, Sam Houston State, and UTSA is not anything. At week 6 of the college football season, it's not anything. Penn State, same exact thing. An overtime loss and a whiteout coming off of a bye. Everything was built for you to go win that. And we'll talk about that game. You do not have a resume right now. And if you wanted to drop them even further, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'm not even saying drop them out of the top 25, but I've seen plenty of people get upset about Notre Dame after the 2 weeks where they were 0-2 and still ranked. Well, what's their resume? They don't have a win. They don't have anything. What does Texas have? What does Penn State have? Because, like I said, we're at week 6. At what point do you have to earn your ranking without having the preseason bias in there? Because I'm not even talking about what the AP poll wants, because the AP poll is going to do what it wants. I'm talking about the reactions. I'm talking about what the fans say. There's been nothing to justify that these two teams could just go blow out anybody else in the top 10, that they should be top 5. I've seen that take before. Based on what is what I ask? Because I'm more than happy to put them right where they deserve. Do they deserve a top 10 ranking based on anything outside of the name of Arch Manning, a very good defense, and preseason hype? Penn State, a defensive coordinator hire in Jim Knowles, who just went to a national championship and won. Drew Aller, potential first-round pick. Returning 2 star running backs who, by my estimate, ran for 139 yards against, I would argue, probably the number 1 team in the country. I understand the one opportunity that they had was against probably number 1 and number 2 in the entire country. Both relatively close losses, double overtime in one, and what was it, 3-point loss in week 1. I hear you. I do. That's why you're ranked, because you're able to step up on those moments. But since then, you weren't even dominating the lower level competition. That's why you're still in the top 20, but not top 10. That's my point.